Welcome to the World Studios, and this episode we're gonna hammer down what this little avatar sprite is gonna look like, because the more I looked at that sailor costume thing that I had created, the more it's like it could be better. It should be better, and it will be better. So, first, I feel like I should pipe this girl up just to make sure that we know what we're dealing with here. I decided I was making some mistakes with how I was interpreting the anatomy before. And so I need to rethink her hips here. I was watching this process video, like a time lapse of this girl on a motorcycle. Like, man, it took that dude like probably 20 hours to make that thing. And it's like, I want to make something that's cool enough that those people are going to want to make stuff for me. You know? I think that would be nice. Because I'd love to just write. A lot of the people that are like more vocal on Twitter are writers. And I definitely have one foot in the like artist mentality where it's like, I don't want to be like talking shit, like, unless I can, like, unless people start like recognizing my greatness, I'm not gonna like go out there and be like, my stuff is great. I'm gonna run my mouth. It's like, no, I mean, maybe if I think I can be funny or something, or if I'm just like, a lot of the times when I say anything online, it's just like I'm in a mood, and then I delete it before anybody can comment on it, before anybody knows it's there. There was only the one time that I was on Twitter, and this dude, it was this whole freaking Eric July crap, and I guess I should explain why I have the Fearsome campaign pulled up. I was thinking I was going to do some Fearsome fan art, because I think the whole concept looks badass, you know? But then I started looking at release, and we're back to that. We're doing this here. Because this is what's necessary, okay? Because if I do, like, Fearsome fan art, A, I have not read Fearsome, so I don't even know if I'm a fan. It looks cool. But I'm not, I won't be accused of meat riding. And, so anyway, like, somebody was talking about the whole 3D assets thing and ISOM. And just like, he took an Ethan Van Sciver quote out of context, which, I've stopped interacting with this crap because it's just never ending with this whole thing. And then I'm like, what did I say? I guess he said something. Oh yeah, he was posting his cartoons because he had made some political cartoons, because he was saying like, I'm an artist and speaking as an artist, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I was basically saying there's a difference between like that kind of art and comic book art, because I had done like casual stuff like that, whatever, like and frankly, it was fairly low effort. Like you could tell that it was just those little like scribbly cartoon like Bernie Sanders. Like I could literally reproduce what he created in like a millisecond without even like I'd have to look up to see what Bernie Sanders looks like, because I forget, frankly. He does have glasses. But anyway, he was in a shitty freaking like thing with a donkey. It's so stupid. Like it was this gay little political cartoon, and I'm like, all due respect, you don't know what it's like to make a comic book, you know? Like, especially a good one. Like, I guess a lot of people have made a comic book. Oh, there's plenty of amateurs doing it, seeing if they're good at it. Heck, here I am, trying to do it. There's a lot of bad comic books out there. There's a lot of decently written comic books with amateur artwork, whatever. Everyone was an amateur at some point, whatever. But he goes, oh, I did storyboards for a movie back in the 90s, so I get the grind. And it was some like romantic comedy from like 1998. And I'm like, I've seen storyboards. Just like the political cartoons, it doesn't need to be like, it's not something anyone's going to see or pay money to see. So I just laughed my ass off when he said that. Like, it seemed so ridiculous. And I said I couldn't take him Well, okay. I said something about not taking him seriously, and then he posts like a picture of a eagle that he drew, and it was like, once again, something I could piss out in my sleep. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to... don't ask me to make fun of you, dude, was what was my attitude towards it. And then he called me an asshole and left. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to make something. I think I told him that he'll be back around, because I'm going to make something that's going to be worth $20 to him. And he's like, I'm never going to give you 20 cents. You piece... You just... making fun of me. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything. Fucking bullshit. Anyway, we'll see if he even ever I don't remember his name. We'll see if he shows up. Just like, remember me, you piece of shit. Never gonna buy a release. I can draw a dandelion and an eagle. You couldn't do that. You can't even come out with your own comic book. I don't get to be a god unless I create something. That's my attitude. So, that's not right. Is it... Should be more like that, I guess. Right? If this is like this... Some other freaking actual artist out there is like screaming his head off at me like, do this. Think about it this way. But a lot of times you're wrestling with your own imagination and trying to make something make sense until it kinda does. Don't make her feet too big. Now we're just in the piping out stages. So now we're here. And I was trying to decide what she was wearing. I had that like stewardess flight attendant outfit thing that I had pulled out of my butt. But even when I made that one, I was thinking that there's gotta be something better. I'm just going to draw like shapes around her body and think, okay, is it going to be like a simple design? Should it be like fabric and metal with like an upper like armband? I had it like that vest opening up before. But what if I make it more like a corset opening out? Like that? No, I kind of liked the way it was. I think definitely higher boots. Because the shin boots, I don't think were working out very well. Oh shit, I'm still recording. Comfortable silence. Man, I picked some CBD up on the way home. And it's been a while since I smoked anything. I'm like, wow. Luckily, I'm looking at the time and I'm only at 17 minutes. I'm like, half of me expected to look up and see like 45 or something. All right. Do I have anything to hydrate with? Agrícola. So her belly button was definitely too high. And that was probably contributing to a lot of it. Alright. So, I was doing it where the sides of her hips were visible. And there was a flap coming over the crotch. I'm going to keep something similar to the old design. The essence of the old design, I think, was good for what this is. Because this is not a fashionista. This is not a real person. This is a digital avatar secretary working for Hayden, the main character, who is, you know, a 24-year-old dude. So, don't want to subject anyone to that noise. But maybe I'm thinking give her like futuristic chaps, maybe. That way we still see, you know, anyway, that way we have a good looking costume that I think people are really gonna like. I do want to do some fan art of somebody who's popular. Just I need to make sure I know that I'm actually a fan. Because nothing bothers me more than it's like, okay, we're going to have a fan art contest for something you haven't read yet. Like, wish I could come up with a specific example. I feel like there was at least one. Be like that, so where there's more side boob almost, and you have to like kind of like see it at an angle, because that way it's not like ultra gratuitous, you know. I don't want to be pornographic, but I want to approach a little bit. I want to get the people going. Like, there's a reason Adam Hughes was popular. For me, at least. Someday I'm going to draw this hand position and really nail it. But for right now, the only reason I'm not digging into this is because I feel like it's a quagmire for me. Hands, I'm going to end up like, when I pick up the tutorial, like the focus tutorial again, I'm just going to have infinite hand tutorials, because I'm just, every time I draw a hand, I'm like stressing about it. There, I'm lost in my thoughts again. I hope I'm not like saying anything out loud that I'm thinking internally. I like said something possibly stupid earlier, but I always gotta think of, some good excuses slash apologies to get through it. Because I don't think I ever do or say anything that I can't apologize for. Although sometimes people are shocked that I try to apologize for things. Some of the shit. But it always works out. I'm always able to smooth it out. We stay calm. She looks more... I gotta figure out this belt. This belt, I'm sitting there trying to envision like some sort of like angular design on it. Like, if you think of the Batman buckler from The Dark Knight, it was kind of like hexagonal, and it buckled like... Or was it? I'm not looking that up. Anywho. Because she doesn't necessarily need a buckle that really functions, but maybe the buckle could be an opportunity. In every outfit, there should be an opportunity for something that draws the eyes. And in this case, we are drawing the eyes downward, and we would want a shape that complements the form, right? And that looks like it buckles together. So I'll just make a little L shape there, and then on either side of it I'll put a little circle. And then it'll have one of those, like the circle is like a connecty piece. Should it be a banded loop like that? No. Because then she's like a crustacean. I was thinking if there should be anything on the side, but should there just be more sock or long boot, whatever the hell it is, coming up? Like, I'm just looking for opportunities to repeat that kind of pattern just to see if it kind of looks okay. I don't know, man. When doubt creeps in, what does it find? When you start to think to yourself, hey, let's put this away for tomorrow. And when your computer starts to go to sleep on you, do you give up? Do you sit? Do you listen? Not at 29 minutes. Maybe at an hour, but definitely not 29 minutes. I need to formulate a vision. And to do that, I'm going to try to think from the front first. Should I here? Ooh. Let's do this. So. If I were Hayden, I would want my little assistant to be very easy to look at, so that I would tolerate her interrupting me when I'm trying to play video games or enjoy podcasts or whatever else I may normal people do. Reading the latest issue of Release, hopefully. This one might be better ingested in parts. She's got to have a big head. comfortable silence. I actually talked about taking notes about stuff to talk about during my podcast before coming in here with zero notes to talk about during my podcast. But hey, I got time off coming up the next few days, and that's an opportunity for me to really tighten things up here at the studio and get some work done. Here, ooh, not trying to do that. So, and here's the other thing I was thinking. What if I got away with not even giving her feet and literally just like, okay, so instead of feet, hold on, come here, you. She would have like stakes, like spikes, right? And then it would be like, okay, she's definitely some kind of machine. And she wouldn't need the pad that I was giving her, because I was giving her a pad, right? And it can literally be like that sort of a shape, right? Leading up into her knees and her thighs. Like huge ballet slippers for calves. Which I think would work out pretty good. Should parts of her just look robotic and that's like her costume? Should have like little nodules so that there's just like that kind of design right there, and it's just like super minimal. Oof, that might be a little bit too. I might have to do that. And then from behind, you know, it would have to come up like this, right? I think I have to. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not a costume. I'm going to try to come up with something different. The more I look at it, though, the more I like it. I'm going to revisit this tomorrow and see if I still like it. Alright, for now, let's move on to the top. Assuming that's what it's going to look like. It's too skimpy. It needs more. It needs something on the side or something. Maybe like a cool design coming down this way. Or maybe I'm just running from the truth. The truth that I need to do. Something like that. And then at that point, just give her like a fake bottom of the rib cage here, right underneath of these, and then just make these a color, or there you go, have it come up like that. And then give her like that, because I was thinking about giving her armor. At the beginning, give her something up here. I don't like bulky hands, though. I know I've seen... That's like one design choice that I think is tough to pull off. I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it, but I've seen it done poorly. And it just, I don't find it sexy. It doesn't belong here, you know. Unless the gloves are like gonna come off me, I don't know, man. Just man hands, not about it. Alright, so the fabric around the tatas doesn't make sense for this one. And I don't actually like the shape down here. It's not elegant enough. So maybe they meet like here. What are the Zero Rangers doing right now?
ラロス島の卵を狙うバンドーラ一味とドーラコカトリス2号。10レンジャーは卵を守り恐竜を再び蘇らせることができるのか。そしてユーロたちは人間に戻れるのか。恐竜戦隊10レンジャー、猿はもう嫌。1億数千万年前の恐竜時代から今蘇った。
She's not Egyptian. It's like she's Egyptian up top and space age down below. It doesn't work. Rid of all of it. What if? Should have like a jewel here. And I did have her with a high collar, but does she need a high collar? Is she gonna be covered up top like that? That looks mildly better. Thank you, Zero Rangers.
$1.7 万年ぶりに発見された恐竜の卵をめぐり、10レンジャーと魔女バンドーラの熾烈な争奪戦が開始された。そしてついに決戦は卵の隠された南の島ダロス島へ持ち込まれた。
If I connect it there.
章玉の一つでも取り除けば結界は消える。
I could literally not show any skin outside of that window here. And the sides, I'll make these sides the windows. So now it's like, okay, she has those robot legs. There you go. Man. Alright, so I have something approximating a design now. Let's take it back to the page. I gotta organize my stacks. Sorry, sometimes I forget I leave that on. But hey, at least it wasn't silence for you guys. Right? What am I thinking with these squiggles, man? Sometimes you come up with an idea for a costume and it looks good at the first angle you do it at. But you know what? I think this will be fine. gotta zoom out for this next part. Oh, I gotta remember to bring a drink next time. So, now that we're talking about these things, we can switch her stance altogether and think more like this. Which means I'm not even going to really see that other window. And this one. Ooh, should it go? Alright. I have to change it from the preliminary design. Alright, there is no window for now. For now, there's no window. I'm sorry. I know I promised a window there. I'm sorry, I let you down. We'll see if we can get a different one in the final edit. I'm the artist, so I can just do things. I was freaking, thinking about Blood and the Sword again. And once again, I'm not gonna like ruin the ending or anything, but the final panel, I'm like, couldn't you send that back to the flippin' to the artist? 'Cause anyway, we'll see if I even bring that up again. Anyway. It was a unicorn. Look, they were there the whole time for a fucking unicorn, and then I look at the unicorn, and the tail, like, literally looks like this. Like, I'll pull it up. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna pull it up. Anyway, it was definitely like, if you paid money for this, like, make a fucking tail. Put at least a swirl or two in it, and, like, overlap the thing. Don't make it... Anyway, I get worked up sometimes, but I'm also unprofessional because I'm a bartender. There's certain etiquette that I'm just not super privy to, and you know, like I watch a Trash Cast. He makes fun of the Eric July books, but really because he was antagonized. No one's antagonizing me at all. So, am I being a dick? Or just being honest, or what? I don't know. I'm going to focus on the book here. This is starting to look alright, in my opinion. If I get rid of the underneath there, and I look at it, that, you know, in the grand scheme of things, let me bring up... That's starting to look alright. And I owe it all to the spike legs for saving me the trouble of thinking out those feet. I could have thought it out. But I kind of like the idea of the spike legs. I think I'll refine them later on. Well, we're 52 minutes. And I'm starting to appreciate our space secretary a lot more already. I think the vest it looked too bulky and weird. Yeah. I'll be going back and changing her costume across the board. Well, thank you for tuning in and helping me work this out while The Megazord fights a giant turkey.
なんだぞ。こんなことだろうと思ってやってきたんだ。卵を返せ。発射。
I feel like I've missed important plot points. Take care. Have a good night.